Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Q Lads channel. We are back for the final of the Madrid Sevens, France versus Argentina. Both sides winning by 7 in their semi-finals to book themselves the spot here. The talk of the French side has been Antoine Dupont, but he will be coming off the bench in this contest. And I do have confirmation that the injury concerns of Luciano Gonzalez, they are just, at this stage, not actually relevant in this case. He's going to be starting this game, even though it looked like he had a serious injury in his last matchup. He will be out there for the Argentines in this contest. Also in the starting lineup for the Argentines, Santiago Mare, Luciano Gonzalez, like I mentioned, Graziano. He was able to get himself 3 tries in the last contest. He was actually the injury replacement for Luciano Gonzalez. Santiago Alvarez, Tobias Wade, Gaston Ravol, the experienced veteran, and then also Rodrigo Isgro there as the last man in the starting side. Then for the French, it is Pasquet, Pauline Reva, Ryan Rabage, Steven Perez-Martin, JP Barak, Joseph Jefferson Lee, and also Jordan Sefo. So 2 very strong sides taking to the field here, both having great competitions. Argentina pulling off a big win throughout their group stage in the contest up against the French. So this is actually a rematch of that match as well. But a lot of passion being shown by this Argentine side. I should also mention Palandini has got his arm in a sling, unfortunately suffering an injury in the last game. He will not be available for the Pumas in this contest. What's happened here? Marcos Mineta, he has put on an Argentine kit and he was with them for the national anthem. He has been doing commentary, like they just mentioned, all throughout the week. And now, is he going to be into their side? Is he off the bench in this game because they're running low on players? Surely not. No, he's not. He's just gone out there to celebrate with his side, making it through to the final. Of course, he is one of the reasons that they got to that point off the form that he has had in the past 12 months or so. But they'll be looking forward to the Olympics. I don't know whether or not Marcos Minera is even going to be available there. But he looked like he was running all right, to be fair, back up to the commentary box for ESPN. But it is going to be Steven Perez-Martin ready to start this one off. The French looking for a massive victory. Argentina, they've been top of the bunch pretty much consistently all throughout the season. And this would be the perfect way of putting the cherry on top of what has been a great time in the Sevens for Los Pumas. Steven Perez-Martin, though, is about to kick this one off. And the final is now underway, ladies and gentlemen. And Gaston Ravol is the first man who gets possession of the ball. Santiago Alvarez goes across there to Santiago Mari. And I think my biggest interest here is what Luciano Gonzalez is going to be like. He's got huge strapping on that leg. He has his first carry, and it does look like he is all right just for now. A little bit slower getting back up to his feet, but that can be expected with the amount of strapping that is holding his leg together. That is going to be the knock-on from Rodrigo Isgro. And when you talk about strapping, Rodrigo Isgro normally has about 10 tons of strapping tape on his fingers. And in that case, it hasn't really helped him out. Can you pick the winner and score, says Ruth. If I was a betting man, which I certainly am not because I am terrible at predictions, I would say that with Dupont coming off the bench, that gives Argentina a heavy advantage in this game. But late in the contest, if France are still within a try or so, they could walk away with a victory. Now, the last 5 times that these two sides have played, Argentina have been the victors. They are currently on the 5-match winning streak. Ball is fed in by Steven Perez-Martin. Now, Pauline Reva goes across the Pasquet. Good 2-man tackle made by Argentina. Joseph protecting the ball. Now Perez-Martin going across to Pasquet. Some good stepping from him. Now again, Reva goes off to JP Barak. Inside ball to Joseph Jefferson Lee, who has dropped the ball. Rodrigo Isgro flying down the wing. Jefferson Lee, though, makes the tackle that he did initially caused because of him dropping the ball, but the penalty is actually going to go the way of France. We are 2 minutes into this contest, ladies and gents, and these sides have not been split as of yet. They are both pretty used to scoring early tries. Argentina have not played in a cup final since Vancouver. They have just mentioned there, and there was a few leagues ago, I believe 3 leagues, maybe even 4. But it was great running from Rodrigo Isgro. Joseph had to make the tackle after his earlier era. Now, France have kicked that one into touch. Injuries can wreck a team's momentum big time. Absolutely. We saw the difference between Argentina having Marcos Moneta and not having him. Their win rate plummeted. But at this stage, they've been able to pull it back quite nicely. And one of those reasons is for Luciano Gonzalez. And the last thing that they would want is for him to get injured in this game, heading towards the Olympics. France in position now. JP Baraki is over, I believe. They're going to have to check this to see whether or not his foot did go into touch. He was not held, and I believe all of this was forward momentum. They are going to see whether or not this is try or no try for JP Barak. Does he get it down? He's not held. He is out. Just touches the sideline by maybe about 3 millimeters. So close now, it says Blues know who is going to draw first blood. Dupont. If Dupont does, it means that this game's been extremely close because he is not on the field at the moment, but he will be making his way on for the second half. Hamish, did you sleep yet? I have not, no. So we have slept very little over the weekend, which is why my eyes look absolutely awful for being bloodshot by a kneecap, says Gus there. And now nicely claimed by Argentina, only a couple metres out from their line here, trying to run it up. They may even have to consider kicking this one, although we did see a few errors from sides kicking it downfield. They've actually conceded quite a few tries in doing so. Earlier on, we did see South Africa and Australia. Australia decided to kick it away. South Africa said, yep, we'll score then. Luciano Gonzalez, he's done the step and manages to hurdle over the top of Joseph. Passes to Isgro, that was close to a forward pass for Argentina. Tobias Wade moves up to 40 metres out. Well controlled at the moment from the Pumas. Isgro sells another dummy. Looks like he's going to continue from where he left off in the last game. The ball is out, and France look like they've been able to rip that one away with Pascal. Now Jordan Sefo puts it in behind to JP Barak. Argentina do have a good defence. Says Drink on the Moon. They certainly do. That is a great win of the penalty, though, in favour of Tobias Wade. We're almost 5 minutes in, and at this stage, neither side have been able to score. Do you plan on trying out coffee and Red Bull for the first time? If so, you should try it during a live stream. CST7, maybe one day. We'll consider it. I don't know what the best time to do it would be, though. Is it at the start of the day of streaming or at the end? Probably not at the end, because that's when I should be possibly sleeping. France got the note about Isgro, says Gus. Now Argentina have got themselves the line-out throw, about 17 metres out from the line. Marcos Moneta back up in the commentary box. At the tears in his eyes as well for what his side have been able to do. Great attacking run from Mari. But France's defence have looked solid, jumping over the middle of the breakdown, one of the French players, so that will be the penalty advantage. They're going to go back for the penalty in the middle of the field. Perfect chance here for the Pumas to strike. So France look ready. I believe they should go for a scrum here for Argentina, and no, they're going to take the quick tap. They decided against it. I think they were trying to lure France into deciding to set for the scrum and then take that quick tap. But Isgro back across Mare. If they get this one last pass away, it should be the try. In fact, Gonzalez has gone himself. And it's the first try of the match for Argentina, with Luciano Gonzalez on one leg. We didn't think he was going to be able to continue in this tournament the way that he was stretchered off the field in the last game. But he's just fended off 2 players from France, just on a freight train line to the corner. Finishes it off well for Luciano Gonzalez there. And try time says Blues native France. Says Cameron there. That one has missed away to the side. So the score at this point will remain with 5 points to 0 in favour of the Pumas. They just show Marcos Manetta's reaction. I assume that commentary that is happening for ESPN is not very unbiased. At a guess, I would assume that he is well and truly behind as a loss. Pumas teammates there, but currently on the halfway line, Gaston Ravol. Another good run from Luciano Gonzalez. Only 30 seconds remain in this first half. Argentina would love to strike again. They've gone for the grubber in behind. Looks like it's going to be pulling up here for Pauline Reva. Trying to run it towards the touchline, but he stays in the field of play. Best case scenario here for France is probably to get a couple more passes away and then possibly put this one into touch. Or the other option is to run the full length for the field. And it looks like Pasquet has really opened up the opportunity of that becoming a reality. Now JP Barak goes into the middle of the field to Steven Perez Martin. It's going to be a foot race between him and Santiago Alvarez. And it's going to be won by Steven Perez Martin. France level the scores going into the second half. And they may even have a lead if this kick does go over. That is his 10th of 2024. Therefore, Steven Perez Martin, boom. Hamish First Blood Gonzalez, Pumas on the hunt. There's Ruth. And there as well. But yeah, nice passing from the French. Argentina need to win this, says Fleshin. Yeah, the big smile on the face of Steven Perez Martin as he was running that one in as well. Finishing the job. Eminem's Houdini song on repeat in one tab. And Eminem doing his this final in the other one. Not a bad morning on Charlie's Day, says Nas Williams. Now France have got themselves the lead, 7 points to 5. I still have a problem with some of the high tackle calls, but I guess that comes with old school. Says Ring on the Moon. And to be fair, some of them are pretty soft at the moment, but you know, the laws are so easily differently interpreted in terms of from one referee to another. So that is where the confusion does come into it a little bit. We've got the French flag there from Jones as well. In terms of the impact players for the Argentines, they've got a lot of their stronger players in their starting lineup, although off the bench they have got Agustin Fraha, Germain Schultz, Elizalde, Verfeld as a few of their options. In terms of the French bench, they've got Grandier, they've got Fournier, they've got Nelson Epi, and of course they have got Antoine Dupont, who could be the game changer. He was in the last match up against the Fijians, almost single-handedly got the French the victory there. In the crowd half as Argentina Spanish. Says I'm nutty. Yeah, they certainly have a lot of fans there. Argentina, I should mention there was a massive uproar when Spain managed to win their game up against the Canadians. So Canada and Samoa, the two regular sides who have missed out on the Sevens circuit. The two new sides that we see added in are Kenya and also Uruguay. A little bit more South American flair, and at the moment, the way that Argentina are going, it's going to be a welcome team on the circuit again at Grand Finals Place, or GF's Place. Watching in the crowd, says I am nutty. And I was like, boom, better get ready for works. Shortly, Roof, we almost done, but the second half now underway, ladies and gentlemen. Gaston Ravel to get us underway. Thanks for the advice, Hamish. Wish me luck this week. See you next time. What advice did I give you, Cool Story Bro? I don't remember giving any advice. Maybe I did, but we have done a lot of talking throughout this weekend. That is the early penalty going against Augustin. No, in fact, no, that was actually Graziano who has been penalised. Oh, that one, the Argentine fans are not happy about it. The French fans will be. They have got themselves the penalty to try and work out from their own 22 here. Vamos Pumas, says Carlos. One is going to be put in touch. We're just going to see the replay here. So Graziano takes it well. He's wrestled down and, yeah, just in off his feet. And now breakdown. You should do the La Chavez Toulouse game on soon. Sadly, they're not showing it here in New Zealand. Fun fact. They actually don't have an option of watching the top 14 here, which is a massive shame because I'm sure that is going to be a very entertaining game. Now Dupont managing to pass it across. Oh, it's actually missed the hands there. The penalty does go the way of the French, and this is going to be a yellow card now against Rodrigo Isco. That is the one player who they did not want to get set from the field. Flow Rugby, describe and commentate, says I am nutty. I mean, isn't Flow Rugby is it a paid subscription or is it a free subscription for it? Accurate fly, kicking fly half over by the French, says Ruth. Drunk in Spain, says I am nutty. Spain. And also, oops, Pumas. And also we get there, Argentina, says hoi why. Hopefully I said that correctly. Now the scrum feed here for the French. Are going to have it 40 metres out, and Argentina for the next 2 minutes are going to have to deal with having a man disadvantage up against a French side who absolutely love driving forward at the try line. Joseph has dropped it. It's a very pay subscription. Yeah, I've heard that Flow Rugby can be pretty expensive, can't it? Overall. But just managing to make the tackle there. The last-ditch effort from Elizalde to stop them. There's still 1 minute 30 remaining on that Isgro yellow card. They'll be hoping that time absolutely flies by. Gustavo has their Vamos Pumas. We get Super Rugby USA and Top 14 plus MMR. Is that the MLR maybe? Euro Champs as well. Says I am nutty. Yeah, although I already paid 2 other subscription services for the other ones that you've mentioned there. And I also don't know whether or not Super Rugby allows you to watch it if you are in New Zealand with Flow Rugby. I think that that's only if you're in a different country to be able to watch the French pump through. Although, says Rink on the Moon, currently only 1 metre out from their own line here. Argentina, as they get wrestled towards the touchline there. Luciano Gonzalez, some great physicality shown. VPN says I am nutty, and also Argentina win the comp, but France could win the grand final. That's so French, says Fleshin. He was not happy about it, Luciano Gonzalez. I think he's trying to say that his knee was down. VPN, oops, I am now in the US, says I am nutty, so you'll be able to watch it yourself. I am nutty if you have got Flow Rugby and a VPN. Now 45 seconds remaining here. Antoine Dupont about to throw this ball in for the French. And nicely taken by Jordan Sefo. Gets the short ball away. On the short side now, Dupont goes away to the right. France have got the numbers. They just need to run this one in. And Joseph has scored the try again. Gracias, says Gustavo. And French pushing for that try line, and they have just got over Joseph Jefferson Lee. That is his second try in Madrid. It may not be his last of this final as well. If France can keep on firing that ball out wide, vive la France, says Cameron there. And also the try, says Jones do. And actually, Joseph Jefferson Lee jumping into the stand and giving a fan a hug when he was able to score that one. That one has gone over for the conversion, so that makes the score 14 points to 5. Now means that Argentina need a try and something to go on to win this game. More than likely, though, 2 tries will be what is required. Dupont does a good wide shoulders. Vive la François Dupont, says Ruth. Right, Germain Schultz onto the field for Santiago Alvarez. Unlucky for the Frenchy girls, not on New Zealand Australia's level yet. Says a Blues Nate. Your talent of pronouncing different countries' players' names is top notch. Whether it be Pacifica, South African, French. Names is amazing. One day you'll be commentating at top level. Says Naz Williams. Hopefully we'll still get to do the streaming alongside if anything like that was to happen. I've always said that that would have to be a stipulation that I can still do some streaming in the same time, if that makes sense, like different competitions. If is Dupont doing well? He is doing very well at the moment. Throughout this competition, he's been one of the standouts for France. And go the Pumas. And the chat as well. And at the moment, the French are just out muscling them in the breakdown. 2 men getting in there. Pauline Reva was one of the players. This is top level. Says Gary Thompson there. Louis Leblanc says a walking Matt. Hamish does it beautifully. He has the mustache, says Ruth. Our scrum feed. Just mention how they've got the blindside option if they decide to use it. But Dupont in behind. It's across to Grandere, who is off the bench. Joseph almost went through, but that is a great last-ditch tackle made again by Santiago Verafeld. And inside Borreriva, he's got another one in front of the Spanish fans. They need a Dupont to help them win this. Says the Blues name, and I think Dupont may have almost ended up with an assist there. Or he started the original play anyway in terms of the decision making. In fact, it was Dupont with the offload. Lured in 2 defenders, gave it to Riva, who scored it easy as he liked. And now Argentina are going to need 3 tries in the next little while. And thanks for your lively commentary and insights, Hamish, says Enrico. No worries at all. Of course, we are going to be back for the Olympics as well that we are covering on the channel. Next week, we've got Super Rugby and URC quarterfinals. So also be sure to check those out. And then international rugby we are going to be covering. We're going to be covering France games. We're going to be covering Argentina games, all just around the corner. And Go France Morning Hamish says, Joseph, welcome in. Surrounded by musicians. If you ever wanted an intro to your program, let me know. Cheer, says Drink on the Moon. I'll have to keep that in mind. We once did have... Actually, that one has never been on the channel, but we have one that some random Irish bloke wrote for us like 5 years ago, before we even had the channel. And it wouldn't pass nowadays because it's got quite a bit of swearing in it. Maybe one day we'll have it as the intro. You can still have chats online when commentating. Interaction with people listening to you is great, says Brian. And yeah, I think that's why these streams have always been so enjoyable. That's going to be not turned over by Reva. He's trying to catch the ball. It's just a knock on. So it is now going to be the scrum feed. But Argentina are up by 14 points at the moment. The crowd are not happy about it. A shame France choked in the World Cup. Says an oil, though they have certainly not choked here. Doing very well up against this Argentine side, the French. There's going to be 2 finals for Antoine Dupont and 2 finals that have been won. And he's also going to be, I would assume, the first player to win a Champions Cup title and then the very next week win a Sevens title. I don't think many people have been able to do that. The Irish sexy voices mutter, says Blues, no, ball out the back door. And now the full-time siren is sounding. It hasn't been Argentina's day. France just in the breakdown again. Managed to get that turnover. And whether or not there's a play on the ball on the ground, France win the penalty and they win the competition. And they've taken it quickly. They decided to go with a quick tap. Rebage. He didn't tell his teammates though. And Argentina have now won the penalty. I don't know what Rebage was thinking. I think he thought he was going to be able to just go straight through the middle. And now it looks like he's going to give Argentina one last try for fun. And just tapped in Dupont score a try. He is not in this one, no, but he's still got time because France decided to take a quick tap, and rather than kicking it into touch, they decided they want to go with one last attack. Now, if they lose a player to injury here, that would be extremely silly from Rebage. Awesome. Well, doing mix. Says a drink on the moon. That one's going to be out wide, and Argentina's going to score the last try of this contest. It's going to be a bit of a consolation one. Oh, hang on. Hang on. There's a bit of push and shove. Oh, was that a punch almost thrown there? Oh, everyone's breaking down at the moment. This is an ugly way to end a 7 series. That was almost a punch there from Riva. In fact, no, who is that? Who just almost threw a punch and now he's getting held by his throat. The tension between these two sides is not over, ladies and gentlemen. This is a really bad look for Sevens. And what they've just said, it's a terrible end to a fantastic tournament. I'm not sure what actually caused that to all break down, but the referee has disallowed the try. He has said we are done with this game. I think they're going to have a look at this one. Right, take your players back, says the referee. I get those beauty eyeballs. I eat it easy and rest lightly. Right, what are they going to decide here? Ice hockey game broke out. Yeah, it wasn't a good look. I mean, like at the end of a competition which has been played with a lot of passion, they're going upstairs. They're checking for, I think, foul play here. Wait a minute. Right, so it was the clean out. Then Isgro dumps him on his head. So that's going to be at least a yellow card for Isgro, who's already got a yellow card. The thing is, if he gets a red card here, he's suspended for the Olympics, is he not? What a stupid move from Rodrigo Isgro. If he's got himself now banned for a few games and won't be able to play in the opening games of the Olympics, he is an absolute egg. Straight red sounds like it is going to be the case there for Rodrigo Isgro. The world player of the year. He didn't play like one there. Or is it the next game? Crazy says drink on the moon. But now France, what are they going to do? They've got to kick this into touch. Who he dump on the head? One of the French players. I'm not sure who it was. It wasn't Dupont though. Right, it looks like both of the sides, are they now going to kick this one into touch? They take the tap, Rebage goes back, and they kick it into touch for the French. An ugly way to end what was an impressive final for the French. I don't know whether or not there'll be too much handshaking at the end of this game, or at least if there is, got to make sure no one's throwing punches as well. Another one with good old fight. Says Andre there. But they are champions here, France, for the first time ever, the HSBC Grand Final men's champions. And perhaps that was the frustration from Argentina. They just couldn't get their momentum flowing in this game. Spicy ending, says Hanoi. But yeah, I'm very, very curious to know what happens with Rodrigo Isgro, because I know you can get a ban that takes into the next competition. And the next competition is, in fact, the Olympics. So, depending on what happens there, he might end up getting banned. Nothing ugly about it. Shut it, says Andre. No, it was very ugly, Andre. I feel like so far throughout these games, we have hardly seen anyone throw it, even a push. And then we see a tip tackle to give a guy a drop on his head. Looks like Isgro is still arguing about it. He is saying that he got hit in the head. Reva is chatting about it. Looks like they're going to try and shake hands at the end of this one. But it doesn't look like the argument is completely over between Argentina and France. This may continue on till the Olympics between the two. Thank you, Hamish, for all your great commentary today. Enjoy breakfast, says Brian. And well done, France. Yeah, it doesn't discredit what France were able to do in this game at all, because at the end of the day, they weren't the player, or they weren't the ones who tipped a player up on his head and dumped him at the end of a contest. He has great technique, although very small, says Hanoi. But the French have managed to win this game. Vive la France, vive la Antoine Dupont. And thanks so much, such a gent. Thanks, mate. Later, says the bystander. So, of course, next weekend we are going to have the URC quarterfinals. We are also going to have Super Rugby quarterfinals. A massive smile on the face of Antoine Dupont. Like I mentioned, he won a Champions Cup last week, and now he's gone on to win a Sevens championship as well. And cheers, all the best, Hamish. See you soon, and over and out. Cheers, bud. And also good French, Dupont and Hamish, awesome again. Cheers, Ruth there as well. But yeah, for the first time ever, the French have been able to get themselves the championship title. They might look to bring in more internationals, other sides, that is. Hey, he's a winning little man, says Hanoi. Yeah, he's certainly doing extremely well, Antoine Dupont. But nonetheless, that is going to be the end of this contest. 19 points to 5, ladies and gentlemen. I'm probably going to, after the stream, rewind and see if anyone did throw anything more than just a little bit of argy-bargy and that one. But nonetheless, we do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We stream till they lift a trophy. Nah, you know what a trophy looks like. We know what it's like when they lift it, so we're about to end. Seeing as we are into our about 10th hour of streaming as well. Thanks for the very entertaining night, Hamish. Says Gary, no worries at all. And yeah, it is greatly appreciated you guys all being here for these matches. We've done plenty of them, whether that is the URC, Super Rugby. We've done about 20-something hours of commentary throughout the last 3 days. We have slept for about maybe 6 hours combined across those days as well, which is why the eyeballs are looking pretty brutal at the moment. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. We're doing it again next weekend. Hopefully you guys are all ready for another big weekend of rugby as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.